Hi everyone, welcome back to another video in C programming course. Myself, I am Anand Savanahar and I'm a campus co-founder. So without any further delay, let's move on to today's agenda. And in our today's class, we're going to discuss about pointers and functions using the pointers. Actually, we already discussed about functions, but we haven't explored more on this parameters like we have been using the parameters we have been using the functions and we are passing the parameters values to the parameters and then we are taking the values and then we are using inside the function everything we are doing but the thing is like we haven't learned it actually as per our videos but so that's the reason I just want to make you guys to understand how to be actually going to explore more on it like the parameters like that's what I'm going to discuss here and also functions using pointers basically like in C programming supports like two types of passing values so that I'm actually going to explore pass by value and pass by reference and more on it when we actually talk about it that at the time I'm going to explore it so no need to worry about right now so let's move on to it let's move to the code blocks yeah, so this is a code blocks I have created using the pointers name here. So this is the default code that which have got from this code blocks. So now let's actually talk about the pointers. That's the main theme of our today's class. So this is one of the most important topic, the pointers, and you can actually, if you learn the pointers, and then you can actually understand how it actually, the memory actually works internally. Everything you can actually understand that we are also going to explore more on it. The memory allocation and in a few in previous in our coming classes. At the time, also you going to like this pointer going to make a key role and the pointers are very important in C programming and you can understand a lot of things with this so that's what and now let's actually talk about the pointers so what is mean a pointer is a variable so it's like a variable how we actually have like the integer and the character like that the same thing we also going to do and but the thing is like whose value is address of another variable so it's going to store the address of another variable value so it's going to store the address of another variable so that is what the pointer means so we can actually have any kind of like the same way how we have integers so the same thing we're going to write here the pointer so but the thing is like here this is a variable name so p is a variable name so I'm just giving as a pointer so that's the reason I'm just giving p so you can give any name that's not an issue here we can have like any kind of variable name that's up to us but I think is like you have to follow this asterisk so asterisk indicates the pointer that's what in C language so we have to follow this asterisk symbol so if you follow this asterisk symbol that indicates the pointer that's it nothing else so I'm going to like the indicates this integer type and asterisk and this is a pointer, and this is what the pointer is. And now, like we're going to store inside this. We're going to store inside it like the variable of address of another variable. That's it. We're going to store it. The address of another variable. That's what we are going to look into it here like for example let actually explore but let's take one example here let me write some example here so that you can actually understand in a better way and we can actually explore more on it so let me write it that one so for example here the normal integer type variable here called num so I'm going to store it here I'm going to store 10 the value 10 here and the pointer here and I'm going to make it as a null so null in the sense it's not pointing to any of the variable that's it so null indicates the it's not pointing to any of the variable that's it nothing else so null is it nothing it's not going to point anywhere so as I said pointer has to point to some other variable it has to point some other variable that's what we actually have to do and but here not I'm not doing anything so that's the reason I have mentioned null so here p equals to again I'm going to mention ampersand and then I'm going to mention the num so I'm going to as I said and the pointer is to store the address of another variable that's it so as I said when we actually talk about these scanf functions like the scanf functions so for example if you want to scan if you want to take input from the user integer type input, so that I'm just using the percentage d, and then we'll store it inside some other variable, any variable. For example, here the num, like I just took it num, so or any key, like for example, okay, n, I'm just storing it inside n. So here to indicate this, so what is ampersand here also? It's actually we are just pointing the address. So we actually pointing the address in our memory. So our memory is consist of lot of memory. So we have to point some exact the address to that particular variable, so that we can actually store inside that particular variable what are the value we are taking from the user, or what are the things what we are actually using. So that's what we're actually storing here. The same way here also, we're going to use the ampersand symbol. So ampersand indicates the address of that particular variable. So here we have a num. So we actually using the num, and then before that we actually mentioning the ampersand. Ampersand indicates the address of the particular variable. So we are storing the address of the particular variable inside a p, and then that's what we actually have done here. So we actually storing inside a p. So that's it, nothing else. So now once after like storing inside it, so let's actually explain what exactly the value is, and everything we'll explore here. For example, I'm going to print it out, so that I'll just print it out so that you can understand what the mean by pointer and what we actually getting, what address we are getting. So that's what we're actually going to talk about here. Uh, num address. So num address, we actually want the num address. So as I said, like the any variable or anything in our program that is actually going to store inside our memory, right? So where we actually storing our variable. So that's what we actually getting here. That's what actually I'm printing here, the num address. So I want the address of the num. So to get that address of num, what I'm going to do, the to get address, we have to specify the percentage p to get the address for it. So percentage p indicates this is a like how we actually, when we actually printing integer type dimension percentage d formats as well. The same way here also, for to get address we have to mention percentage p, and then I'm going to mention backward slash n here, and then I'm going to mention ampersand num. So ampersand num, as I said, ampersand num in the sense address. That's it. So even in our scanner function also we used to use this ampersand a lot, right? So same thing. We actually get an address particular thing. That's what we're actually printing it out. And then um, address of p. So address of p, I want the address of p here. This is what I wanted. So I'm going to mention address of p here, and then actually when we actually, yeah, I don't want to explain it right away. Well, let me write all the things whatever I want to write it. Once after that, we'll actually explore the output skill, so that you can actually better understand what actually we are doing, and what is the address of this p, and what is the address of this everything. I just want to show you, so that you can actually you can actually understand more better way. So value of p, value of the p, I'm going to mention percentage p, percentage, yeah, sorry, and then p. So I'm going to mention p here. Here I said the value of p. So here I'm going to mention the value of p, not any kind of thing. I just want to mention the value of p. So value of p in the sense, the pointer actually stores that address of another variable. Here we actually storing this num. So here also uh, it's an address only. So that's the reason I'm just mentioning the percentage p here. Sorry, here also it's not, sorry, it's not Amazon D, it's actually P only, because we're actually printing the address, right? So it's a P only. Sorry. And then now here I'm going to mention the printf, and then I'm going to mention value of uh, what is pointing to. I'm going to mention this way. And then the return zero. So that's what actually I'm mentioning here. Um, So here I'm going to mention I'm going to print this num address and then address of p, value of the p, and the value of what p is pointing to the. That's what actually we are printing. So now let's actually print it out, and then you can actually understand a better way. So that yeah. So now we got the output here. Let's actually explore the output. Actually, here is missing this this thing. Let me actually this thing is in. Yeah, let me know. Yeah. So here, let's actually see here. So here we have given num10, and then pointer is equal to null first of all, and then you're actually storing this address of num. So whenever we are actually using again, so we at the time we don't need to use this particular asterisk symbol only when you actually declaring it the pointer. When you actually declare the pointer, then only you need to use this asterisk. After that, you need to use asterisk. That's why I'm not using it here. So now, first of all, I'm printing the num address is. So I'm just printing the address. So on my memory, on this particular address, this particular variable is storing on my main memory. So that's what I'm actually doing here. Even we actually talk about memory allocation in our upcoming videos. So at the time you can better understand this thing as well. So the memory allocation, those things also we're going to discuss. At the time you're going to understand more clearly, I guess. So this is in this particular address. This particular variable is declared, and then address of p here. So I'm just printing the address of p. So I just want to print this address of p. Address of p is again different because it's not we're just pointing, but we're just storing the num address. But here I'm not printing the what pointing to it. Um, I'm just printing the like the address of the p. So I'm not what I'm just pointing. That's not I'm not storing. That's what. So again, the value of p here. Again, the value of p. So here we are actually storing the value of p. So the value of p is nothing but we are storing the address of num again. So we are storing the address of num. It's similar to this one only because the num address and then value of p is also similar because we are actually storing it inside. That's what actually I want to explain here. That's the reason I'm just I've given here how it actually works and everything. You might have understood here once I when I we print it out here. So now here like finally the value of what P is pointing to. So here I'm just given percentage D. So I'm not giving percentage. I'm not want to print the address. I want to print this value, what it actually pointing to. So it actually pointing to num. So num value is 10. So that's what we got it. So to get that, I'm using this asterisk p. So when you want to get the data pointer, then we actually using this asterisk p. That's what we actually have used here. So this is what we have got the output as. So I hope you guys clear with this pointer. Like even we're going to solve many problems in this on upcoming videos as well. At the time also you're going to understand more in the like regarding pointers. You don't need to worry if you didn't understand it in the first class itself. You'll also understand. Also, if you want, you can also rewatch the video again so that you can also better understand the video. I mean, to better understand the class as well. And even if you didn't get that, don't worry. You just keep continue the complete course. You will actually understand. We also doing to solve few problems and everything. You're going to understand the pointers concept. So no need to worry about it at all. So now actually talk about this particular functions function pointers. Let's actually talk about it so that you can actually understand more better way regarding those things like the functions to pointers and all those things. Basically we haven't explored these things. Basically, let me actually comment it out. um, um, so now let's actually talk about another thing that is functions to point like how we actually use the functions in the, inside the pointers like those things. Like, sorry, like how we actually use the pointers inside the functions, the parameters, all those things. We can explore it right now. And actually, these concepts actually we like is something related to functions only, but we haven't explored at that time because at that time I already told you guys that we need pointers. At that time, I can actually it's better to like so that you can actually understand in a more better way. So that's the reason I haven't explored in that time. So now we actually going to look into that regarding that things. So here we'll talk about the two things: pass by value and then pass by value and then pass by reference. Or even we can call it as pass or call. Even we can also call it as call by value or call by reference. Anything is fine, or pass by value or pass by reference. Anything is fine. So here, so let's actually explore about pass by value or call by value. So here it's nothing but a functions only. Like let's actually talk about one function. Here I'm going to write a user defined function like swap. So I don't know, guys. You guys already familiar with swap? Then it's fine. Or else I also explain about the swap, so no need to worry about it. So what exactly mean by swap is nothing but so we're going to change the values of two variables. Like for example, here for example, x value is for example x value is 10, and then y value is 20. So here, what actually this swap function does is it's going to interchange the values like x value going to be become like y value going to be become like x. That's what I'm actually going to change. This function actually going to make the changes for the particular data. That's what they're going to do it here in using this swap functions. So that's it. So nothing else. So to like this is like the function we're going to write it right now. So no need to worry. So before that, let's actually write this main function as well. Into main. So inside main function, I'm going to declare two variables a comma b. I'm going to mention a comma b, and I'm going to store values to a and b. So a equals to 10, and then b equals to 20. I'm going to store the values a equal to 10 and b equal to 20. Even you can take it as user inputs. That's not an issue. But just we actually here we want to explore more on this thing. So I don't want to explore that. So I'm not writing the thing. That I'm going to call a particular function, swap function, and then we're going to pass the values a comma b, and then once after we finish that, uh, we actually going to print this particular function. Uh, Print this particular function. What have we got it in here? What have we got it here? We are actually going to make a changes, and then we're actually going to call this particular thing. Percentage d here. A comma b. So that's what we're actually going to do here. So we're going to call this particular functions, and then we're going to print it out. That's it. Nothing else we're going to do here. We just going to call this particular thing, and then we'll just print it out. That's it. So now even we'll also call one more time this particular thing for better understanding. Before swap, we can call it as before swap, and then we're going to call it as after swap. We're going to call it as after swap and before swap. That's it. We're going to call in these things. That's it. Nothing else. Now here in this particular function, let's implement this particular function here. The swap function. So that's what I said, right? It's going to interchange the values. That's it. Nothing else. So A become going to become B and B becomes to A. That's what. But yeah, let's print it out. I don't want to say right away, and then I was going to discuss it. So here I'm going to declare a variable called temp. So I'm going to declare a variable temp. So how can we change it? Yeah, as we have, for example, if you have like two kind of bottles, and one is lemon juice and one is orange juice. If you want to store, like if you like, there are two bottles, one is lemon juice and one orange juice, and if you want get this lemon juice into the orange juice, and if you want to pick this lemon like whatever we have in container of orange juice, and then we want to make it as a lemon juice, then how can you make an interchange in there? You're going to take one more bottle, and then you're going to like all the oranges you're going to put inside another bottle, and then you're going to make a change. That's what we actually generally do in our daily life. The same way here also we're going to pick one more variable that is going to temp. So what are you going to take? I used to have mentioned a temporary variable. So and then I'm going to store in temporary variable. I'm going to store in that temporary variable. I'm going to store the x. So x is nothing but a and b only. The y is nothing but b and x is nothing but a. Or else you can make it as a and b only. Anything is fine because it's again this is a function, right? The user defined function, we can give any name. So I'm just doing that way. But the value going to store inside in this particular thing area is going to be the whatever we actually pass from here in this particular calling the function. So that's what we're actually doing. Anything you can do, but I'm just I'm just doing so. Okay, without any confusion, I'm just making it as a and b. Or else you can also make it as x and y. So anything is fine. Both will be the same output only. That's not an issue at all. Here, the temp is equal to x only. Here. I'm going to store in the temp. I'm going to store the x value, and then next step, what I'm going to do is I'm going to store a y value inside x. So here, that's the reason I'm just before that itself I'm just storing x value inside temp. So because whenever I just assign the y value to the x, then the x value going to be erased, and then the y value going to be stored, right? That's the reason before itself I'm just storing inside the temp. So that actually again that inside the y value I can store the temp. So temp is nothing but x only here. Before that x only, right? X value only I'm storing inside the temp. Here that's what actually I'm doing here. And then after swap, I'm just doing here in this way. This is what we have done here. So this is what we have done here, and this is nothing but a call by value or call by pass by value. That's what. And now pass by or call by reference here. So before that, let's actually print it out this one, and then let's actually explore what actually happened here and whether it's actually working or not. Because I think we have to use backwards transfer is not readable at all. Yeah, now it's readable. But the thing is, here this is the twist came here because before swap itself is a 1020, and then after swap is also 1020. Why is it happening? Because it's actually storing here, and why is not actually happening? That is what the thing is. So that's what actually I want you guys to make and understand here. So here actually you can actually understand what exactly this is passed by value and passed by reference. So here what exactly mean by here is when it comes to functions, any functions like either main function or user defined function or anything, whenever the program ends, the automatically the data the function is going to be discarded from the memory. So like whenever this particular function call, whenever the function call here, this function, that the value is going to be just going to here, and then going to everything going to be done inside the function whatever we have specified here. Everything will be done, and everything will be execute perfectly. Everything will be perfectly executed. For example, even if you print it out this particular thing here itself, you'll get the data. You get the correct output. What are you guys are expecting? Like A going to be 20 and B going to be 10. That's what you're going to get here. Example here. Let me actually print it out. After swap, there's a function. This is a function. So let actually be printed out this one, and then let's see. Sorry, these are a x and then y. So because we actually using this particular thing as a x and y, so we have to use the same. So yeah, so see, see here after swap inside the function, we actually getting the data as we what we actually expecting here. But when it comes to here, after this main function, it's not actually printing out. Again, the same values are printing out. what actually mean. So you might guys are thinking about this a and this x. No, no, it's not at all true. Even you can use a and b here because it's a user defined function. It's not actually it doesn't mean this different at all. Both are similar only. So you don't need to think about it in that way because I just that's the reason I just also make it as a and b. It's not about making as a x and y because those are user defined functions. We can give any name, but while passing the data, that also is going to see here. The same thing, we are actually given the A and B only, even though after swap, we getting only 10 and 20 here in this particular line. Why? Because when it comes to memory, actually, it actually going to not going to store at all inside the memory. Once this particular function calls, if everything going to be functionality, everything going to be does here, and then once after the functionality, everything is done, it's going to come to this particular line, and then this whatever the functionality done here, everything going to be discarded from the main memory. So everything will be deleted, no longer available inside the memory. The functions. So whatever it's in. So only that's the reason. Whenever if you use the functions, if it is a void type of function, then you have to put it there itself. Either you can use return type and then you can return the value and then you can store it here and then you can print. In that way you can do it. So that's what actually here. So this is what about is call by value. So it actually not going to store inside the memory. So everything will be discarded, and that's the reason. Either we have to use a return type and like return type, and then you have to return it, and then you have to store it inside somewhere, and then you have to print it up. You can do it either way. You have that option, or else we have one more option that is called by reference and or called by reference that we're actually going to look into right now. Uh, let me actually copy this one and then let me comment it out as well and then let make modifications here using the call by reference. So what are the modifications that we can do here that we actually going to look into here. So here we have like both the variables that we are not going to do, and then we have stored the 10 and 20 that also we are not going to do, and we are printing that also we are not going to do anything, not going to change anything. But here we are actually going to make a few changes here. That I'm going to mention ampersand. So ampersand in the sense what I said, ampersand in the sense address. We're not going to pass the values. We are actually passing the address, not the values. So that's what we have to remember here. Ampersand. Whenever we use ampersand, we actually using the address of the particular variable, not the value. And here, whenever we use address, only address can store only by the pointer. So here we have to use a pointers. So I'm going to make a pointer and b asterisk. So that's what. So whenever we actually passing the address, then we have to use we have to use the pointers only. And then here the temporary variable. So even the temporary variable also I'm just using as a pointer only. And here, and then we don't need to use anything here. Only once is enough to actually declaring itself. And then here is a pointer. We're actually storing the address of the address of the particular variable. This thing, and then address. The pointer will be actually pointing to that particular value that we actually when we actually talk about here, we're actually getting this particular data, right? Means we actually getting the 10 only here. That's what. Even when if you can also refer back this particular area when you actually talking about here. When actually print on particular line, we actually got this particular 10 here. So value of what p is pointing to. What p is pointing to. Whenever we use asterisk, we're going to get what p is pointing to. So what p is pointing to value is 10. So that's what we got it here. The same way here also, we're going to get the what p is like what a is pointing to. So we're going to get this 10, and then we're going to 10 and then we can replace by it. Something, all those things we're going to do here. And then after that, the swap inside the function. So here what we're actually going to do here, the thing is like pass the value, we're actually creating one more variable here. The thing is here, pass the value is nothing but we're actually creating one more variables, two more variables, and then we are creating two more variables, and then we are doing it, and then after once after the function calls ends, actually everything going to be deleted, and the and all these new variables are no longer available inside the main memory. But whereas here, we actually not going to create any new variables here. We are actually creating the pointers, and then we are actually storing the address of the previous variables. So whatever the A and B, it's better to actually make it as X so that you can actually understand. So anything is fine. So A and X, anything is fine. So we're actually storing this A and B values inside this asterisk A and asterisk B, and then we're actually doing the functionality, and then we're actually printing out. Even here also we are printing, and then here also we're printing it. Let's see the output, and then see, and then analyze in the, after seeing the output. Okay, so here, see, we got the output as before swap A and B, and after swap inside the function, we're actually getting this particular A and B. Let's actually make it as a point. This only, so that you're going to get what you're actually expecting here. Yeah, so now we got the output. See, here we actually getting this before swap 10 and 20, and after swap 20 and 10, and after swap in this particular line also we are getting 10 and 20. Because it actually we're actually getting the address of the particular variables, and then we are changing the values on that particular address only. It's particular A and B address only, whatever stored inside the A and B address data we actually making changes. But when it comes to here, pass by value, we are actually creating new variables, and then we are doing this thing, and then so that's the reason once after the function ends, there is no longer available that particular new variable. But even here also, this function once after finish this function, this function going to be discarded from this main memory. Even though what this functionality doing is everything we're going to making changes inside the main memory variable address, whatever mentioned inside the main memory, that we're actually doing here. So we're not doing anything else. um, that's what we are actually doing here. So this is what actually happened here. So that's what we're actually doing here, but nothing else. So nothing else. So that's what we actually done here. So this is what about call by value and call by reference, nothing else. So this is what we have done here. So now this is what for today's class we have discussed the pointers, and then the path by value and path by reference. And even if you didn't get, please do watch again the video so that you can actually better understand the video, and then only just move to the next video. Until then, just please stay not staying in itself. At least watch once or twice so that you can actually understand. And then just move to the next video, and so that you can also understand more better way when you actually solve some few more problems, so that you can actually understand. I can understand. So we have to you want to solve the few more problems. So no need to worry about it at all. So this is what about today's class. So thank you for watching, guys. Thank you for watching. So this is what today's class.